Hello everyone, my name is Melissa Lane and my community is Eustis, Florida. As you can see, Eustis is located in Central Florida. It's about 30 miles north of Orlando, and as you can see by the map, Eustis is surrounded by water, pretty much. It's got large bodies of water on both sides and also several small bodies of water within it. The population of Eustis is about 19,000 residents. Since the year 2000, that has increased by 28%, which is quite a bit, I think. A lot of it has to do with the tourism in Florida and people not wanting, a lot of people don't want to live right down on the ocean. They want to live inward a little bit, especially if they're from north, because they're afraid of the hurricanes. So a lot of people tend to stay in the central area of Florida. Plus it's right by Orlando, so that makes it convenient to get to all the attractions. The males in Eustis they make up about 48.2% of Eustis, and females make up about 51.8%. And as you can see, the median resident age is 41.8 years in comparison to Florida, which is 41.5 years. I really expected it to be a little higher than that, as Florida has so many what we call snowbirds, the elderly people that come down from the north to stay in the south part-time. And I'm wondering if this does include people who are only here part-time as opposed to full-time. So otherwise I believe it would be a higher average age than that. The demographics in Eustis, Florida, as far as race, the whites make up about 13,000, blacks 3,000, American Indian 68, Asian 211, and so on and so on. I really thought it was more equal than that, but apparently I was wrong about that. I mean, just being in the community, I thought it would be kind of more 50-50 with blacks and whites, but I'm surprised to see that it's so different. The largest employer for Eustis and basically the Lake County area, which, you know, Eustis is in Lake County. The largest employer is Florida Hospital Waterman. It employs about 1,200 people. At least 25% of the population of Lake County is employed here. Eustis has a lot of activities, events every Friday. There's events going on down by the lake. They have bands and other kinds of entertainment and food and all that kind of stuff. Boating, everybody's into boating and skiing and you know, all kinds of water sports. I am not, because I'm terrified of alligators, but people that are down here, they don't seem to mind that. So one of the biggest events in Eustis is George Fest. It is a celebration of George Washington. George Washington was not from here, obviously, but this is their way of expressing their patriotism. George Fest has been going on for 113 years, and this festival is huge. People come from all over the place. Not only in Florida, but all throughout the United States, people come to this festival. It's a pretty neat thing, really. It's a lot of fun. Everybody dresses up, and there's a parade and all that. Just tons of stuff. I mean, the whole town is involved in it, so it's pretty neat. Other community activities, like I said, there are a lot of tourists that come down here. There's kayaking, canoeing, lots of nature and wildlife, you know, tours, that kind of thing, boating, fishing, all that kind of stuff. So it's, you know, it's pretty interesting. There's always things to do here. As far as being a good community and safety, Eustis is kind of on the fence about, I mean, as far as that goes, because the overall crime rate in Eustis is 47% higher than the national average, which is pretty high, and that has increased well, it says here, as you can see, the number of total year-over-year crimes in Eustis has increased by 7%. And this last year seems to have been pretty bad. I don't really know what the cause is. I mean, there hasn't been any reduction in police force or anything like that. I really don't know, why that is, but I know that, community leaders are working on that, but hopefully that will improve. The chart there on the right is not for Eustis alone, it's for Lake County as a whole, so that's why the numbers are so high, but I'm thinking that, this will probably categorize Eustis as not being a good community, just because of the crime. But like I said, hopefully that will change in the future. As far as goods and services, this would definitely make Eustis a good community because there's easy access to goods and services. There's a huge downtown area, which is made up of, like, this is actually a picture of Eustis, so it's got tons of shops and things like that, and we have grocery stores, and they're all easily accessible, and we definitely have ample goods as well. Relationships that bind citizens together. This is, Eustis residents are connected, I can say. The ones that have been here for many, many years, they are very connected. The town leaders, people like that, they have all lived here for a long, long time, and they've lived here for generations. And all the people that are involved in the festivals and all the town events, they're all very close, and they really do a really good job of keeping the community together. However, there is a little bit of separation in the community as well. It's funny because as you drive through Eustis, you can kind of see the separation in, the white collar and blue collar communities and the way they interact with each other. I kind of wish that there would be a little bit more interaction between the two groups, but overall I think that this would make us a good community as far as the way we relate to each other. Everybody's pretty friendly. You don't really, I've lived here for 5 years and I rarely have met anyone that isn't friendly. So that's a good thing. So I think that would classify Eustis as a good community. Other aspects of a good community, according to Ohio State University, they have to have a commonality of values, which I do believe that Eustis has. Most people here have the same values. There's, a lot of them. It's a pretty religious community, so a lot of people go to church. And, the police department is, the police officers are really involved in the community, and, everybody kind of knows each other, so that's a good thing. The day-to-day relationships among residents are highly predictable. This is very true. Provide sufficient opportunities for growth and fulfillment. I think that's an area that could definitely use some improvement. I do believe that there needs to be more opportunities for young people to go to college and move up in their jobs, and I just really believe that education in Florida is not good in most areas, honestly, compared to the rest of the nation. In Central Florida, it is really on the poor side, and in Lake County, it is very much on the poor side. So as far as that goes, I really think that kids that are growing up around here, I really think that they don't have as many opportunities, and in some ways I just feel like they're not being given a chance to succeed in a lot of areas. And college is not, it's not really pushed here as much as it is in a lot of other areas of the country. and a lot of, the kids aren't expected to go to college, and I just really think that the educational system here really has to change for the sake of the kids and future generations as well. And as far as, let's see, is homogeneous enough to prevent conflict between neighbors, but heterogeneous to create some diversity? I believe that's true here. There is diversity. I think there needs to be more diversity, but I think that's improving every year, honestly, which is good. And there's really not a lot of conflict here at all. So the only bad thing, the only thing that doesn't make Eustis a good community is the increase in crime. And like I said, I don't know why that's happening, but overall I do think that, I feel safe here. And as a matter of fact, I've decided to buy the house I'm renting right now. So if that says anything, I feel safe in putting roots down here. I believe in the citizens of the community. I really enjoy it here. I like the festivals and the events that they have. The lake is in walking distance, and it's nice because you can hear the music. Open your window and hear the music, and it's pretty neat. But overall, I think that Eustis would be considered a good community. So I really hope you enjoy this presentation, and maybe you can come down and visit.